Hello again, everybody. Welcome to OCVarsity.com. It's time to talk about girls water polo with Dan Albano. Dan, we had a shakeup in the county rankings this week, didn't we?
Yes, we did, Steve. It was pretty interesting. There's been some interesting responses on OCVarsity.com, especially on the blog.
Are they giving you a heck over there?
You know, I'll reveal the vote in a second, but just to fill in everybody, we have a new number 1 and number 2 team in Orange County. The new number 1 is Los Alamitos, and the new number 2 is Edison, and the number 3 is the former number 1, Newport Harbor. And what shook this up was the Southern California Championships over the weekend in Irvine, where Los Alamitos defeated Newport Harbor handily in the semifinals, and in the third place match, Edison had a very decisive victory over Newport Harbor. So based on the most current results, we switched the polls and we went with Los Al number 1 and we went Edison number 2. On the year, Los Alamitos, Newport has won 2 out of 3 over Newport Harbor.
Right.
Newport's has won 2 out of 3 over Los Al, including the league game and another tournament. And Edison and Newport have split. But based on how these teams played this past weekend, and with those current results, we made the switch. And there was so I put up a poll question, Mr. Fryer, and so far most people did not agree with the switch. It was before I came in, it was 64 votes against this switch, that Los Al and Edison jumping Newport Harbor, and we had 36 votes in favor of this jump. Would you like to chime in on this one?
Well, you know what? To me, there's always 2 ways to look at it. One, you say, oh, hey, it's this week's rankings.
This week's poll.
This week's rankings. This is how they look this week.
Right.
That's what I always think of, when I vote in the football poll, the basketball poll, whatever, baseball. The other way to look at it is, yeah, okay, it's this week's rankings, but doesn't the rest of the season come into play in your evaluation of this team? To me, that's always the hard thing to do when I do a vote.
So what would you who would you be your number 1 team in Orange County?
I would more side with the this week's rankings thing. So
okay.
So I hate to say it, but I agree with you.
And it was interesting, the Division I poll with the coaches poll came out, and of course Dos Pueblos that won the Irvine SoCal Championships and looks just outstanding right now. They're number 1. Los Al is number 2. Newport Harbor is 3. Edison is 4th. So they gave the bump up to Los Al,
okay,
who was very convincing against Newport Harbor. So but how's this all going to shake out for the playoffs? Do our polls really matter come playoff
Only
times?
the Southern section polls, Dan.
Correct. And of course that it's all going to come back to how you did in league and how you get seeded out of league. And we know that Newport Harbor has clinched that number 1 spot in the Sunset League. Essentially, they'll be number 1, and they'll be the number 2 overall seed, opposite of Dos Pueblos. And from there, we're looking at probably number 3 is going to be Corona del Mar, and 4 is going to be Los Al. Of course, they're going to have to be opposite.
Man, that's a deep bracket.
Opposite, yeah. And it gets good after that, of course, with Long Beach Wilson, maybe your 4 or 5. Long Beach Wilson and Los Al play this week. That could be an interesting game in Division I. And then Edison's going to be maybe a 6. And I got Santa Barbara 7, Foothill 8. So the pairings come out on Sunday. I'll probably be seeing you at the Southern Section office.
So there's still some events going on this week that could really shake up how the brackets look when we look at them Sunday, huh?
A little bit. We got some breaking news today. The Trinity League, which is a Division I league, finished in a 3-way tie for first place, Steve, between Rosary, Santa Margarita, and Mater Dei. They held their coin flips, I believe, today. And the way those seedings, those entries for the Trinity League are going to go, it's going to be Rosary number 1 entry from the Trinity League. Number 2 is going to be Santa Margarita. Number 3 is Mater Dei. So there's your very interesting brackets seedings, because you have Mater Dei maybe playing a first place team. Santa Margarita looking at maybe a second place team, and Rosary looking at maybe a very good third place team. So could be interesting. And we got some good games this week still to decide. The Seaview League on Wednesday night is going to be over at Beckman High School. El Toro is playing against the host Foothill Lady Knights. So that's for the Seaview League title, essentially. If El Toro pulls the upset, we got ourselves a 3-way tie in that league, because of Huntington Beach has defeated El Toro. So, of course, Huntington Beach has got to beat Woodbridge, I believe, this week. So still some things to be decided. And, of course, another highlight of the week is going to be the South Coast Tournament. What they do is pretty interesting, Steve, is they play their regular season, and you get points on how the regular season works, and then they have a postseason tournament, and there's points off of how you finish in the tournament. They combine the two, and that's how they get their division.
It's like college basketball.
They combine their, and that's how they get their points, and they come together for their seedings. And they're a very strong Division II league with Dana Hills and, of course, San Clemente, the front runner, Dana Hills, Mission Viejo, Tesoro, all teams that are pretty much ranked in Division II. So that's a very important tournament coming up this week.
Excellent. Well,
at Capital Valley.
Sunday's the big day when the brackets come out.
11 a.m.
Playoffs.
I'll be on
11 a.m. and
OCVarsity.com looking to provide everyone those results right away on OCVarsity.com, the blog.
And analysis too?
I will get to the analysis, yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good. Well, we'll have all that going on. Playoff brackets and so many sports come up Sunday. We'll have them all here at OCVarsity.com. When they're released, we'll have them here at OCVarsity.com where we've got you covered.